So first of two IMCA Sport Compact Heat races. Going to be looking here momentarily for the Emmitsburg Collision. Green flag off of turn number 4. Nice and easy. Off of turn 4. Green comes up. We go racing Sport Compacts. Twice the cylinders, or half the cylinders, twice the fun. Here we go. Katie DeVries, a multiple-time Lady Eagle IMCA national winner. She will lead that 8 car down the back straightaway. Oh boy, the 712 of Volkert. Bout went roundy round like he didn't want to. They'll work him off at turn number 4. DeVries gonna bring him down to lap number 1.
Katie DeVries with your race leader, 81 of Brandon Hartman running second. Erickson in that 3rd place spot. Top 3 single file, area code 712 of Levi Volkert. In that 4th place spot, Nate Koopman side by side with Recker as they come off of turn number 2. As Kane Malberg bringing up the rear in the 24 M car. DeVries still with a race lead, but here comes the 81, Brandon Hartman.
On down into turn number 1 into that 81 of Brandon Hartman out of Fairmont, Minnesota. Working it off the bottom. Here comes the 440, Jaden Erickson. Those two drivers coming from back to the 6th and 8th starting positions. They chase down Katie DeVries in the 8 car. They'll work off of turn number 4. Katie's got it up front. White flag, the farmer saving a bank of Astoria. White's out, 1 to go.
Single file around the Clay County Fair Speedway in our first of 2 heat races for the Sport Compacts. DeVries with a big advantage as Koopman will get around Levi Volkert now for that 4th place spot. Into turn 3 and 4, and they go. Checkered flag coming out this time by, for the big iron, will be Katie DeVries picking up the heat race win. Brandon Hartman 2nd, Jaden Erickson in 3rd, Nate Koopman 4th, and Levi Volkert your top 5. 38 of Lucas Parsons, the inside of row 4 from Burt, Iowa, and Jade Lang in the 43 from Humboldt, Iowa to the outside.
So there you go. We'll be looking for your Emmitsburg Collision. Green flag getting ready to come on up this time. Field of work down into turn number 3 and 4. Here we go. Green's up. 4 laps of distance. Top 5 cars making that redraw spot with 2 heat races. They'll head on down into turn number 1 and 2. Riley Payson working around the top of the speedway in the 65 car. Racing Riley. Oh, fly. Little smiley Riley up on the top. Here comes Brent Kajewski down there in the 28K. Logan Kelly in the 231. That's your top 3.
As Logan Kelly takes over that 2nd place spot, your pole sitter slips back to 3rd. Racing Riley Payson out with the race lead. Tyler Feeblecorn trying to move his way through the field as well as he hits the high side of the racetrack. Car now into turn 3 they go. He'll dive down to the bottom side as it looks like Kelly might have caught Payson there for a split second. 2 to go.
Green high to the air, pair to go in this one. Logan Kelly out of Fairmont, Minnesota, working it up there to the 2 spot. Kajewski back there, he's got company. Look at him in turn 2. Around they go. Whoa, it's always the last car to the party that makes a wango tango. White flag coming. 1 to go. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow for the 03 of Mike Rainelt out of Windham, Minnesota, and I'm not sure the number of that car. I think that's Lucas Parsons back there in the 38 car. Tune in and watch any of the archive races that we've got on IMCA TV. Like the IMCA TV Winter Nationals. Insurance. I can't wait to go back to Kokopah. It's about that warm here today. Now it's going to get desert cold tonight, Scotty. I left my hoodie out in the car. Speaking of out in the car, that's where Riley Payson is. He's out front in that car. Logan Kelly trying to chase him down. Of course, Logan Kelly, we normally see him in the starter stand, waving the sticks. He's now chasing Riley Payson as we come down to the white flag and 1 to go.
1 to go for Riley Payson, flying flagman of Logan Kelly in that 2nd place spot. As Feeblecorn gets around the 10N of Camden Nearing. Then turn number 3 for the final time here, racing Riley Payson. Looks like he will take home the heat race win here, checkered flag. represented by a Big Iron, will go to the 65 machine. Logan Kelly in that second place spot. Brandon Dweski, followed by Tyler Feeblecorn and Camden Nearing. Trevor Smith, the 33 from Sanborn, to the inside of row 2, with Jake Greenwood from Woodward in the 43 to the outside.
So field set on up, getting ready to go. Next time by the Shavers Manufacturing starter stand, we'll be looking at the green flag. They'll come into turn number 3 and 4. IMCA RaceSaver sprint cars going green flag, heat race number 1. Down into turn 1, it's going to be Halverson for the drop of the green to the race lead off of 2 and out of back straightaway. The 28 of Madison Miller. Miller there to the number 2 spot. Smith, Trevor Smith up to 3rd, and here comes Hausman of the 4L car.
43 of Jake Greenwood hits a top side looking for position, as it's going to be the 33 Trevor Smith to the inside of Madison Miller through turns 1 and 2, battling for that second place spot. Halverson out with the race lead, now half straightaway advantage.
Down the back straightaway, it is Brandon Halverson out of Jackson, Minnesota, your race leader here in your RaceSaver sprint cars. Oh, the 28 drifts high. Miller's going to let that 33 of Tim Smith get around him, and here comes Hausman. Mike Hausman on the bottom side. Now comes that 28 machine of Miller. Miller back down there around the bottom side. Great race there for the number 3 spot.
Chris Graff, 24 car, slides up in front of the right in front of the 4L. Madison Miller back to that 3rd place spot here to the 24. Or the 4L of Mike Hausman, I should say, as Halverson. Oh, problems for the 4 cars. He pulls in the infield. 33 of Trevor Smith still in that 2nd place spot. Chris Graff, 24 in that 3rd place position. Madison Miller on the top side. She'll lose another position now to the 43 of Jake Greenwood. Halverson is all but gone here in heat race number 1. As we have single filed now out around the Clay County Fair Speedway. Green flag high in the air. 2 laps goes. Halverson spins in turns 3 and 4. Your race leader going for the spin cycle and stalling, bringing out the caution.
Plenty of time, plenty of action to be seen here tonight from Spencer. So head on out, get yourself the broadcast bought up. We're going to bring you here the 2 RaceSaver sprint car heat races and the first 2 of 4 IMCA Sunoco stock car heat races. Green flag coming to the air. It'll be the 33 of Trevor Smith out of Sanborn, but he's got company. Here comes the 24 Chris Graff out of Glencoe, Minnesota, downstairs in the 24G. He'll work it on in there. You've got a new race leader.
Graff with your race lead. Smith back to that 2nd place spot as Halverson around Madison Miller, and now battling for that 3rd place spot with a 43 at Jake Greenwood. Halverson on the top side as Trevor Smith tries to gain a little bit of advantage and get closer to the 24G of Graff, but it is going to be a white flag in the air. 1 lap to go, Jerry.
Down the front straightaway, the former Savings Banks of Fostoria white flag is waving. The Big Iron checkered is coming next. Off of 2 and down the back straightaway, it is Chris Graff out of Glencoe, Minnesota. Your race leader down to the checkered flag and the win. Give it to Chris Graff. Second will go to the 33 of Smith. Rallies back to the 3rd place is Halverson and Greenwood coming into your top 4 finishing spots. Brandon DeCina watching from San Diego. Chad Clancy tuned on in. Daniel Eaton. I think he's sitting down here in front of me. Ethan Broxma, great IMCA racer from down in Newton. Believe the caution lights have come off. We are ready to come back to the green. The Emmetsburg Collision green flag into heat race number 2 for your IMCA RaceSaver sprint cars. Here we go. On down into turn number 1 and 2, and it's going to be your race leader. Way up top, gonna dust off the top shelf, and look at this action down the back straightaway. Wow, Bosma with a great run. Down there in the 23 as they hustle off of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. It's the 53 of Joe Miller out of Vale, Iowa, your race leader.
Battle for second, though. Brandon Bosma hits down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Jody Rosenboom up top. Bosma will have second. Dusty Ballinger into that fourth place now. Montefiore falls back to fifth. Looking down to the outside of Dusty Ballinger. And a slide job from Brandon Bosma. Oh, hang on to it, buddy. As Joe Miller, from Vale, Iowa, takes back the top spot off turn 2. Battle for the lead.
Off for 2 down the back straightaway. It'll be that 23 of Bosma back on the inside. Bosma going to layer deep down to the bottom side. Turn number 3. Lets the car slide up. Going to grab the cushion off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Miller back there in third. The 4SS and Jody Rosenboom. Rosenboom, the veteran out of Rock Rapids, working it down the back straightaway. Looking for the number 2 spot.
As Miller in that number 2 spot, Roseman will go high this time now. And oh, something amiss on the 53 on entry. He'll slide back to third. Here comes a combine now to the inside of the 53 car. Roseman up to second. Bosma still with your race lead. Sullivan and Montefiore, your top 6 cars, as Bosma has opened up an advantage. Dusty Ballinger around the 53 car of Joe Miller as they cross the flag stand here. 23 still with your race lead.
On out front, it is at 23 of Bosma, your leader. Rosenboom working the number 2 spot. They'll hurry on down into turn number 3. On the bottom of the racetrack, working there is Brandon Bosma out of Rock Rapids, Iowa. Going to bury it up on the cush. Green high in the air, 2 to go out of the Chambers starter stand. Down into turn 1, still going to be Bosma. Rosenboom going to slide it on in there, trying to catch him.
As Joe Miller trying to hold off Andrew Sullivan deeper onto the field. White flag coming out this time by Farmer Saving Bank of Astoria. White flag in the air for Bosma as he has led almost all of the laps here in heat race number 2. Rosenboom still behind him, followed by Ballinger, Miller, and Sullivan in Fieria.
Down the back straightaway, checkered flag off at turn number 4. It is the big iron. Checkered flag for the 23 of Brandon Bosma. Second will go to Jody Rosenboom there in the 4SS. Then we will see Ballinger there in the number 3 spot. That'll wrap up IMCA RaceSaver Sprint action. These fans up on your feet, make some noise, hoot and holler, scream and shout. Sport Compacts on parade. Alrighty, here we go. Koopman up on the front row, multi-time national champion of the Sport Compacts, Levi Volkert out of Correctionville. Here we go. Green is up. 8 laps the distance. He'll thunder on down into turn number 1 and 2. It's going to be Koopman up to the race lead. DeVries right there to the number 2 spot. The 7-12 of Levi Volkert gets hustled on back.
Jaden Erickson, the 440 car, looking to go through the middle now and make it 3 wide. Thought better of it though off turn number 4. Koopman, your race leader. Katie DeVries in that 8K machine in that second place spot. Levi Volkert, the 712, way up the racetrack in 1 and 2. Now comes Jaden Erickson to the inside as the 81 of Brandon Hartman takes over third.
Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Koopman right there. There's a 440. On the bottom of Jaden Erickson out of Welcome, Minnesota. Working with that 7-12 of Volkert. Volkert up on the outside, Riley Payson and Chuck Feeblecorn. It's going to be Tyler Feeblecorn back there working on each other. Battle for second. Hartman working with the 8 of Katie DeVries. Caution is out. Got Logan Kelly. Logan Kelly parked here on the front straightaway. Not sure what happened with old Logan, but Logan Kelly stopping on the front straightaway brings out the caution flag in the 231.
Also looks like the 10N of Camden nearing at the bottom of turn number 2, stopped as well. So caution flag, first caution here in the Sport Compact A main event.
May 23rd, 1,000 to win for modifieds, 1,000 for sport mods, 1,000 for hobbies, and 500 for sport compacts. So make sure and put that on your schedule if you're home watching on IMCA TV and you got a stock car, $5 grand. Monday, May 23rd, right here in Spencer. Looking to go to the green flag. It is up, it's out, here we go. Katie DeVries gonna storm to the bottom. She'll take a look in that 8 car to the 9 at Koopman. Koopman sees her on the bottom. Katie DeVries is coming. DeVries, the lady racer out of Spencer, down on the bottom. DeVries working the Mankato, Minnesota racer, the 9 and 8 Koopman on the top side. You've got a new leader. She's your hometown hero. Katie DeVries in that 8 car. Down the back straightaway they'll go. DeVries on out front. Koopman working second. Hartman is third. Field off of turn number 4. Katie DeVries, 4 down, 4 to go. Here comes Brandon Hartman on the outside of the purple 81 car. Hartman up there. DeVries a little wag of the tail down the back straightaway. DeVries, Koopman, and Hartman, a 3-car battle for the lead. Field will get down into turn number 3 and 4. Oh my, look at this, 3 deep. It's time to sell it cheap. Brandon Hartman right now up to the race lead. You've got yourself a wing-dang doodle of a Sport Compact A down the back straightaway. Koopman on the bottom, Hartman on the outside. Katie DeVries, 1 out looking in. Field will hustle down this time, 2 to go. Nate Koopman downstairs. Brandon Hartman on the outside. Down the back straightaway we go. Farmers Savings Bank out of Fostoria. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. It is a drag race to turn number 1. Koopman on the bottom. To the outside is Hartman. Hartman and Koopman back nose to tail down the back straightaway. Nate Koopman pulling away from the field down into turn number 3 and 4. Gonna pick up a big iron. Checkers. Nate Hartman. Oh, Katie DeVries, I think, may have snuck into the number 2 spot. Hartman in the 440 of Jaden Erickson rounding out your top 4. So Nate Koopman out of Mankato, Minnesota, multiple-time IMCA Sport Compact National Champion, picks up a win here tonight at the Clay County Fair Speedway. Out of the car, race fans, put your hands together for Nate Koopman. Nate, it's been a while since I've chatted with you. I didn't know we were ever going to make victory lane again, and well, I didn't think tonight was going to be the night either. That was a whale of a race.
Yeah, it was a fun race. It was a good time.
Katie got under there, then here comes that purple, that other Nate there, that Brandon Hartman guy comes around, and then all of a sudden it's like the afterburners kicked in.
Oh yeah, it was a fun race. I'd like to thank all my sponsors though, Knish Customs, Mankato Crank and Chrome, Blasco Building Supply, my dad, my wife, and father-in-law, and everybody else that helped.
There you go, congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go, how about it? Put your hands together, Nate Koopman, one more time, and from Sport Compact. And greet your IMCA RaceSaver Sprint Car A main event here at the Clay County Fair Speedway. Field is set, wing to wing, down into turn number 3 and 4. They'll come to the green flag. Your sprint cars are underway down the front straightaway. Great run by Joe Miller out of Vail to the race lead. Will be there. Andrew Sullivan there, the number 2 spot. Off at 2 and down the back straightaway. Rosenboom in the 4SS machine into the number 2 spot now as he dives to the inside of Sullivan. Into turn number 3 and 4. It's going to be Miller, your race leader. They'll fan him out 3 wide down the front straightaway.
Jody Roseman, that second place spot. Montefiore up to the third place now. Here comes the 24, of Graff to the outside of Andrew Sullivan. Joe Miller, your race leader. Montefiore mounting a charge to the back of the 4SS of Rosenboom. But 24 of Chris Graff on the move right now.
On the hurry off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway, it's still going to be Miller, your race leader, followed by Rosenboom. Now here comes Sullivan in the orange 91 car, back to the inside of Graff. Graff is going to lay it up on the top shelf where Daddy hides the good stuff. Down the front straightaway, bang, got him! A new race leader, Jody Rosenboom in the 4SS.
Rock Rapids, Iowa driver, the 4SS car, your new race leader off turn number 2. Graff still trying to find something on the high side. Montefiore in that third place spot, now trying to mount a charge. And look to the outside of Joe Miller. Nothing doing. Does he have the momentum off of 4? Not quite.
Montefiore, they're the driver in the blue number 45 machine out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Trying to make something happen. Jody Rosenboom is running and hiding away with this one. Miller going to hold him back there for the number 2 spot. Fiore back up on the outside. It is a battle for the number 2 spot. Sullivan up into 4th. Graff is 5th. And Old Combine working there in the number 6 spot as they hustle side by side down the back straightaway.
Oh, Fiore slid high that time by. Here comes Sullivan now to the inside for that third place position. Side by side, Fiore now points the nose down the hill a little bit. Jody Rosenboom still walking away with the race lead. Miller trying to make that 53 car as wide as he can to hold on to second as Fiore mounts another charge.
Fiore's got Sullivan knocking on the tail tank down the back straightaway. Sullivan's got to run downstairs in the orange 91. The black and blue 45 of Fiore up on the outside. Miller bobbles that time, going to slip the grip down the front straightaway. Does Fiore have enough? Maybe they're wing to wing down into turn number 1. It'll be Miller on the bottom. Fiore now is going to solidify that number 2 spot, and Sullivan sees the door come open as it's going to be the 91 of Andrew Sullivan out of Arnold's Park to the number 3 spot.
They have the right back behind them now. Here comes the Combine. Dusty Ballinger to the inside of Joe Miller. Tucks tail out back behind him and will follow in the tire tracks right behind the tail tank of the 53. As now the 53 tries high. Here comes Dusty Ballinger into that 4th place spot though. Jody Rosenboom, he is all but G-O-N-E gone here in this A feature.
Out front is Rosenboom, second is Fiore, then it is Sullivan, followed by Ballinger. Miller back into the number 4 spot. This time they'll come down the front straightaway. Cross flags will meet and greet your race leader. That 4SS of Rock Rapids, Iowa's Jody Rosenboom. Rosenboom with almost a straightaway advantage over that 45 of Montefiore. Ferreira right there in the number 2 spot. Then the 91 machine of Andrew Sullivan. Taking a look through the field there. Here comes the 2D of Dusty Ballinger. Ballinger out of Harrisburg, South Dakota is on the hunt. He is chasing down that 91 of Sullivan.
They might be planting corn, but the Combine looking to harvest some corn now as they come off of turn number 2. The Sullivan gets a better run off of 2. Will pull away from Ballinger just a little bit. Distance back, though, to the 53 of Joe Miller, who's going to be under attack from Graff, and Bosma back behind them. Oh, slow car in turns 3 and 4, but we're still lean, mean, and green. Matty Miller about to go a lap down to Jody Rosenboom.
They'll work him on down. Rosenboom still there, your race leader. He has been there from about lap number 3 and not going to look back as working through lap traffic. Everybody starting to string out in this one here at the Clay County Fair Speedway. Once again, it's still Rosenboom, your leader, followed by that 45 of Fiore. Then it is Sullivan, followed by Ballinger, Miller, then Graff, then that 23 machine. Right back there of Brandon Bosma. That runs through your top 6 running order. Down the back straightaway into turn 3. Still that 4SS of Jody Rosenboom. Hooked up. He's got the wick turned up and the kite string hung way out tonight.
Veteran driver out with a race lead. Also dabbles in 360 and 410 action, but running the 305 tonight. Oh, contact! contact between Matty Miller and Monty Fieria. Fieria keeps the wheels underneath of him, and he will zip by Andrew Sullivan once again. Sullivan now going to be under attack from the 2D, the combine of Dusty Ballinger, as Matty Miller pulls it into the infield. 3-car battle now for second.
Man, you watched that as Fieria got up out of there. You see Sullivan, I don't know if he thought maybe the caution was going to be coming out for some reason, but the car kind of slowed off at 2. And when that happened, Fieria was able to get back around him, but they have lost sight of your race leader. Well, they lost sight of him about 15 laps ago. It's still Jody Rosenboom on out front, your race leader. Fieria working second. Sullivan, Ballinger, your top 4. 2 to go this time.
2 to go this time indeed, as Ballinger had a mount charged on the 91 of Sullivan, but could not do so as Jody Rosenboom down the backstretch. He will find the white flag this time by from Farmer Savings Bank. White flag out for the 4SS.
Final 3/8 mile trip around the Clay County Fair Speedway for Jody Rosenboom. Out of Rock Rapids, Iowa, working down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Off of turn number 4, gonna pick up $1,000 for his IMCA RaceSaver victory tonight. It is Jody Rosenboom. Boom, right there, count it, back about a straightaway advantage he had on 45 of Monty Fieria, working second. Third going to Andrew Sullivan, and rounding out your top 4, it will be the 2D of Dusty Ballinger.
So Jody Rosenboom left the card on the counter, checked out, goodbye, see ya. Picks up the win in the 4SS machine here for your RaceSaver feature here tonight. Driver out of Rock Rapids, Iowa.
Jody Rosenboom picking up the win. Comes on out. Jody, first off, congratulations. Got a straightaway on him. You made that look like child's play, or made it easy.
Steve gives me a great car every time I get to run this thing. This is my coming out and having fun, you know, and he and I, we have a good time together, and you know, he does all the work and I get to come play.
Well, I always bring back memories of being a little kid on the big half mile. The Rosenboom name was always a Sunday afternoon staple here in the old sprint car days. It's got to feel good to pick up a win right in front of what is, in essence, a hometown crowd for you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Especially for, you know, with Steve. He lives just right up the road here. And yeah, my dad's won at the old half mile. And I'm lucky enough that I guess dating myself here, I got to run the old big half mile. So now there's so much history in this place. It makes it so cool to be able to come out here now and get a victory.
Besides Steve, the car owner, who do you want to thank for the win tonight, Jody?
Basically anybody and everybody that helped Steve here. He could even probably tell you better than I can, but obviously Outcast Racing Engines, because this thing rips. Who we got here? Cotton Grave Farm Management, and anybody else you absolutely want? What's that?
Kelly DeLost Pioneer.
He's on the other side.
It's on the other side. That's why everybody else saw it but you.
Apparently I was very unprepared for this.
All right, how about it, Jody Rosenboom down in Victory Lane, picking up tonight's IMCA RaceSaver Sprint Car. Amen.